Okay, so good morning and good evening, everybody, and welcome back in today's class. Today, we are going to discuss a very separate topic, a very different topic of service now. Okay, to kick off this topic, let me pick up some examples here. Let's say I'm staying in a city and I need to be travel to, or I need to be go to airport. Okay, from my house, the airport charges are approximately 800 rupees. Okay, I book a cab, I pay 800 rupees. I reach there, I pick up my guest, I came back, or maybe I was just going there to meet someone. So I reached there, I meet with that person and came back to house and again paid 800 rupees. It's look very heavy amount if I talk from the Indian currency. Let me talk from the other perspective. Maybe I need to be travel to airport and the charges are more than £100 or the $100. Okay. So in this case, if I think from the money perspective and think from a user perspective, it's too much for me. I cannot, if in a single month, if I need to travel for 4 or 5 times, it's getting tough for me that I can book the cab and I can go there. It's actually tough for me, but it's required for me to travel there. Then after some time, there's a new concept come into the picture. And that concept says that, hey, you're traveling alone. Why don't you book a cab in the sharing? Looks promising, looks good. Now, instead of the 800, I have to pay only maybe 200 or 250 something. I need to be paid. Still, I can manage this part. But what is the drawback here? Number one, I need to be sit on a seat where I'll get availability. Maybe if I'm the last passenger in that cab, I have to be sit in the middle as well. I have no choice. Also, if anybody also there, which driver need to pick up, he may take the long route. Agree. You are 4 people now in the cab. You cannot play your favorite song in the cab, or you cannot talk to the driver as well in the cab. But on the other side, you are saving a more than 600 rupees one side. The same concept work in service now as well. And that concept we called as a domain separation. Okay, domain separation. What the fundamental says here? It says one instance and many users, or I can say not users, many company using that. I generally take this example in my batches or in my classes as well. How many of you live in the PG? In India, we have a paying guest concept. In US, in UK, we have a sharing concept. How many you stay in the sharing? Maybe 4 different friends, 5 different friends, or maybe you're staying with some married man. Or they have a 2 bedroom, one room they give it to you on the rent, and in one room their family is there. So how many of you stay? Almost some or other day we have this experience. We had this experience. In this case, I am paying very less rent and I'm getting the benefits, everything. I'm getting a good home. I'm getting a good people. I'm getting a homemade food. I'm getting enjoying the TV and other things will be there. In the same perspective, this domain separation work. Let's say I am a company and Moji is my customer. Okay. Moji reach out to me and say, hey Atul, I want to be implement service now. I said, very good. Can you do it for me? Yes, I can do. What is the license you charge? I will charge $200 for ITIL license. Okay, it's too much. I cannot afford this part. Moji did not buy the service now from me. After 2 days, I get a call from the Shyam. Hey Atul, I want to be implement service now. Can your company do for me? Yes, I can do. How much you charge? $200 per ITIL user. He says, Atul, I'm a very small company. I don't have this much money. But this is my charges, guys. Sorry. Shyam also did not opt the service now. After some time, Jimmy called me. Hey Atul, I want to go for the service now. Can you provide? Yes. Charges $200 per ITIL user. Again, Jimmy is also in the startup, cannot afford this much. Now, if you see, due to this 200, I lost my 3 customers. It means I lost approximately $600 if I take one user from each of the company. It's a big loss for me as well. And also it's a loss for you as well that you are not able to onboard on the service now. Then one of my friend came to me, Harsh. I was sitting very sad. Harsh came and say, hey Atul, what happened? Hey, I have 3 customers and none of them converted into the deal now because of licensing cost. Okay. Harsh was very smart. He's a businessman. He says, let's do one thing. Go and talk to these users again, these companies again, Moji, Shyam and Jimmy, and say, are they okay to pay $50 or $60 per user? I said, but it's not possible. Then Harsh told me, go and talk to them and tell that boss, I can onboard you in my service now. But there will be one instance and there will be multiple companies who are going to be use that instance. Are they okay? I go to Moji. Moji, now I'm charging $60 per user. But condition is that you have to be use single instance. Moji says, okay, give me some time, let me think. I go to Shyam. Shyam says, deal looks good. But Atul, what about my data? I don't want the other companies able to see my data. I said, don't worry, that I will take care. 100% I'll take care. Shyam put the deal signing. Then I go to Jimmy. Jimmy also agree. Same question, but agree. Now, after some time, Moji also came and say, yes, Atul, I am agree. I said, okay, guys, let me get the contract ready and let me onboard you in the service now. The first question asked by Jimmy, Atul, how I can sure or how you are sure or how you can show me that my users are able to see only my data? How you identify? I said, in a single instance concept, I will create the domains. One domain for Moji, one domain for Shyam, one domain for Jimmy. And I will create the users in your domain specifically. If if a user work in a Jimmy company, I will create that user in the Jimmy's company domain only. Same goes for Shyam, same goes for Moji. Okay. Things started. 3 different domains I created. They are paying their individual one, and I am earning good amount. I onboard one more customer, 60 $60. Earlier I was just earning 200. Now I'm earning 240 per month. After some time, Sham and Jimmy sit together and say, "Hey, let's collaborate here. We are paying very heavy amount. Let's collaborate." They both agree and they came to me, Atul, I want my users will support to Jimmy's customer and Jimmy's user will support to my customer. What you can do here? I said, no worries. Give me the list of users. I will give your users visibility of Jimmy domain, Jimmy users visibility to your domain. Now you both are brother and brother. Go and enjoy. Charges are still same. Internally, they can get benefited by the cost saving or something, but they are paying the same amount to me. So this is the whole soul picture of the domain separation in service now. Clear, everybody? Nice story, right? Anyone? Good. Now the question come. How domain service now support the domain separation? From Jimmy, Moji, and Shyam perspective, it's very good because they're able to save the money. But if you think from my perspective, it is an overhead. One day Jimmy says, Atul, I want change in this particular process. Another day, Shyam says, Atul, I need a change in this particular process. Another day, Moji came and said, Atul, I need a change in this particular process. I am fed up. I fed up. Guys, come on, it's not possible. Or I can do, but not 100%. Atul, that's wrong. You only says that it can be done. Now you are saying like this. It means I'm getting the problem here now. Okay. So domain separation is the overhead for the service provider. Now I take only 3 users. Let's take I onboard 100 customers on the domain separation. Then you can imagine that how much burden, how much overhead is for me here. Right? It's very overhead for me. That is the major drawback of the domain separation. In the same manner, ServiceNow say before you go for this particular concept, before you go for this particular concept of the domain separation in your company for your customers, you have to be answer 5 questions to me. If all the 5 answers are yes, only then I will allow you to go for the domain separation. If none of the answer is no, or any answer is no, you cannot proceed with the domain separation. Harsh is feeling excited now. Atul, what are those 5 questions? So now let's come here and let me log into developer.servicenow.com and go to references. Not references. Let me go and put here domain separation. Activate. Let me show. So if you are reading something, or if you want to, sorry, not reading, if you want to read something, you want to understand something better, go to developer.servicenow.com. You will get almost all the topics, including scripting as well. You will get it here. So you can read it from this particular place. Okay. Now let me see building application. Okay, activating and domain hierarchy. Not this one, domain hierarchy. Give me a minute. Let me find out here. I generally follow this article for my classes. Okay. So it is like this only. This is service now, and I have a three different tenants now in my instance. Jimmy, Moji, Shah. But the entry gate is same. These three tenant or their users will use dev 862711 to enter into the service now. But they're not able to see anybody else data here. So you can see there's no linking line, right? This one. That is the one thing. Now, what principles it has followed? So it are the benefits for the service provider. Licensing increase, centralized data segregation, global reporting. For tenant, minimum license threshold, you're getting pre-built processes. Let's say after 1 year, ED came to me and say, Atul, I want to be on board your service now. He will get everything already settled down. ID, I can onboard you. $60 per user and you can come. He's getting already built up processes, incident change, everything has been built up for him. He's happy. Okay. But this is important. When to use the domain separation? These are the 6 questions which ServiceNow ask. If you or your customer agree on this 6 question, so this 5 question, then domain separation is okay. If any question or answer is no, then you have to go for the single instance. Logical data separation, scale, platform requirement, process differences, and administration requirement. What is the logical data separation? Can the customer use logical separation instead of physical separation? What this mean? Ultimately, or in the picture, your data is in the same data place where I have a data from Moji, I have a data from Jimmy, I have a data from Sham. But on the logical level, it is segregated. Logical means on the viewing perspective, it is segregated. I said, okay, Moji, Jimmy, and Sham, are you agree with this? Everybody say yes. Good. Now let's go for the scale. Is the customer small enough? Don't require multiple nodes or the dedicated hardware. Remember when we discussed the ServiceNow architecture. The same applies here, that you're not that much big and you are happy. Yes, I can work on the single node as well. I don't want any dedicated hardware. If you're sharing my hardware with someone else, that's look good to me. No problem. Agree? These 3 agree? Yes. Platform requirement. Can the customer work with the product and service provided on the shared platform? Like on the shared platform, I am providing incident, change, problem, request, and knowledge. Jimmy says I don't know how to use the knowledge management. Don't use, but you are getting it. Because it's a shared platform. Are you okay? Yes, okay. Welcome in. service now. Process differences. Do the customer processes require less than 5% change from the shared process? Let's say Jimmy, Moji, and Shyam and Ope is living in a shared flat. 4 different rooms they are staying, and one common kitchen and one living room. I, as a landlord, say, guys, everybody need to be, everybody will get a one set of key. While going out or come in, you have to be lock the door. Okay, but the door will be closed by 11 o'clock in the night and will be open again by 5 o'clock in the morning. Then Jimmy says, Atul, sorry, it will not work for me 100% because I have a shift as well. Sometime my shifts end at 2 o'clock and sometime it end at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock as well. Okay, this much I can still manage. That's fine. I can give you the master key and you can, or I can give you the other key. You can come inside very easily. Okay, Open, you can close the video. That's fine. No problem.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. So this is called the process differences. If you are okay to accept the process differences, which is less than 5% in the overall change, then go ahead with the same. And at last, admin requirement. Does the instance on admin the instance with the customer only managing the limited configuration? Means you don't want a lot of changes, lot of configuration. No, you want just limited configuration. Atul SLA, notification or UI policies. I want just only these things. If answer is yes, then go for the domain separation. And then we have to be activate the domain separation and it will start working for us. Everybody clear till this point? Good. Jimmy, Moji, Yogesh, Mikichi, Bakar, Ope. Anybody, any doubt, any question here? Good. Now, how the domain separation looks like in ServiceNow. Okay. And that is called the domain hierarchy. Then after this, I'll come to a ServiceNow, guys. Okay. So in ServiceNow, we have a like this. We have a domain called the global, and we have a domain called the default, and we have a domain called the top. Top domain means it is a place. It is a place where I am building my processes, which is applicable for everybody. Let's say Jimmy, Sham, Moji, and Nikichi are my 4 tenants in a single 4-bedroom flat. Okay. And I create a process that guys that main lights will be switch off, or maybe I can say main lights or the main current lights will be switch off by 12 o'clock at the midnight for the maintenance work for the 20 minutes. Jimmy says, everybody says okay, but Jimmy says, Atul, sorry, it's not work for me because I have a night shift as well and I'm on the support call, so I cannot afford the light or the current issue, due to which my internet also goes down. Okay, but I can provide you the backup line as well, so you can use the backup line in that minute. Okay, so this means that top domain is which is applicable for everybody. If you want some changes, I can do the changes on your domain level. But again, remember, not more than 5%. Not more than 5% I'm allowed to do any changes. That's not look good. That's not recommended. Otherwise, there's no purpose of having the domain separation. That is the first part you have to understand. Top domain is the master domain in ServiceNow. Okay. Now there's a concept called the global domain. In our house, we have a place where we keep everything which is not in use. And that is called the storeroom. Right? This toy is not working, put in the storeroom. The shoes are out, put in the storeroom. This vacuum cleaner is not working, put in the storeroom. This bag is good, is not in use, put in the storeroom. It means what the meaning of the storeroom is, it is a place if you put the data can be accessible by anybody. If the user has a accessibility for that particular domain. That is called the global domain here. We never ever create any data, any process, any user in the global domain. If I am putting anything in the global domain, it means I am giving the visibility to the user to see anybody's data. And that's not look good in the security perspective, because that is the first condition GB put or Sham put, that Atul, how you will make sure that my data should not be visible or accessible by the other users. This is called the this particular concept. Now to do this part, we activated the domain separation plugin approximately in the last week. And due to this, if you see, the major change happened is that now we have a company domain as well. You can see domain as well in the selection here. So if you see, I have a global domain, I have a top domain. Right? So I have a global domain, I have a top domain. Rest are the examples which is given by ServiceNow. But for us, I have a global and I have a top domain. So to do this part, I go here and I create a domain first. You can see here domains. You want to see the domain map, you can click here and you can see like this. As of now, it's looked like this. I want create one domain. I want to create my company domain in the top domain, under the top domain. So what I have to do? I have to go and make a change here. Number one, select the top, so that all my customers should be onboarded in the top domain now. So like this. Now what I will do, I'll go here and click on the domain and come here and click on the new. Okay, let's say my domain name is LNG. Okay, what type of it is? It's a customer, it's MSP, it's a vendor, anything you can put. I can put customer here. What is the parent domain? Under which domain you want to create? I want to create in the top domain. Do you want to make it primary? Primary means if I put a primary, then everything will become under me, not in the top. I said no. Primary can be only one domain. And by default, ServiceNow give top as a primary domain. Now I click on the save here. Now under the domain, I will create my company. So now let's see example here. Like in India, we have a Tata as a company. Sorry, Tata as a domain. And under Tata, we have a number of companies. They are dealing in the IT industry, that is called the Tata Consulting Company. They have a Tata Communication. They have a Tata Salt. They have a Tata Products. They have a Tata Brands. So multiple companies are there. But in short, they called as a Tata Products. Same goes for the Wipro as a company. Wipro deal in the IT. Wipro deal in the electric products as well, in the retail as well somewhere. So now in a single domain, I can have a multiple companies as well. So now I'll put my company here. I can put my company with the same name LNG. Generally, we prefer that domain and the company name should be same. But if more than one company in a single domain, then you can put the different domain. So I can put learn, grow. Phone number you can put if you want put it's a customer. Yes, I'm a customer. I'm a manufacturer. I'm a vendor. It has no impact just for the reporting purpose or the recording purpose. You can say under which I'm creating. I'm creating on the top LNG domain. This is the very important point we have to be understand that how this structure work. And now click on the submit. And now let's go here and open the domain map. Now you can see LNG. You cannot see the company here immediately, no. But you can see now I am in the top domain. Clear everybody till this point? Any doubt? Moji, Yogesh, Nikichi, Shyam, Ola, Ed, Bakar, Harsh. Harsh, it is something new topic or old topic for you?
It is a new topic also.
Completely new.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Okay, now let's come here. So now this has been done. So let's say I created one top domain. Under top domain, I have a Jimmy, Satya, sorry, Jimmy, Moji, and Shyam, three different domains. Under that, I have a their company. Now, if I go here and go to the user and let me click a user here. Now, if you notice that I have a company name here as a mandatory, which was not the case earlier. Because earlier we are in the single instance. Now I have a company instance as well. Let me add one more field here. Two more field here. That is called the domain. So that I can show you the accuracy. The only thing is that you as an admin should be very careful when you are creating the domains and putting the data in that. Your one mistake can create a mess. If by mistake you created a user account in the wrong domain, can I request please go on the mute if you're not speaking, please. Thank you. Oops. Is that let me put on the everybody's on mute file. So now let me put this thing and click on the save. So now you can see I have a domain path. Let me see under which domain I'm in the top domain. That's fine. I don't want to in the top domain. I want to create a user in the my domain only. Right? Or maybe you can put the user in the top domain, but company should be in the this part. So now I'm creating a user here. Sham LNG. Let's say like this. SLNG company. I want to put learn and grow. This company. Because he belong to my customer. He belong to my company. Why it's not showing the domain here? Otherwise it show the path as well. Okay. Rest looks good and click on the save. Like this. Let me give a ITIL role to this user. Nothing new I'm doing. I'm just creating a user, but only thing is that I'm taking care that the user should be created in the right company and in the right domain. Not sure that I'm not able to find out the another field called the domain. Okay, this thing. So now you have created the user. Number 1 point. That user has been created and that user in the domain called the, under which domain we created in the LNG domain. That is the number first part. It means let me impersonate with Sham LNG here. Sorry. Impersonate. Let's go here and let's see number 1 point. See, he is only able to see the LNG domain. That is the number first point, right? He is only access to the LNG domain. It means this is the Jimmy user or the Sham company user or the Moji user who is able to access only his data. Now the question comes, Atul, why this data is available? Why he is able to see the other data as well? That we need to be see that is this incidents in some other specific domain, not in the LNG domain, or maybe the global domain, so that anybody can access this data. That can be the reason this user is able to see the data here. That is the first part. I'm from experience, I worked in a project where we have this domain separation concept. Okay, the toughest part is this only, that why my user is able to see the other data. Because before agreement, Jimmy, Sham, Moji has the same thought in the mind. My user should not able to see anybody else data and nobody else able to see my user data. Then why this is be happening? This is be happening because maybe this data has been created in the global domain. Let's create an incident here. Quick open. Yes. Okay. School name. CD. Inserted cricket and save. 10089. Okay. It has been saved. Now let me impersonate with some other user. Let's say able tutor. I'm sure he's able to see again complete data. Let's see which domain he can see. Oh my God, he's in the global domain. It means he can see anybody data. Open. Yes, he's able to see. Let's do one thing. Let's go here, profile, view, and go to the default one. Okay, he's a part of this. Which domain he is? Let me right click. There's an, okay, he's not that user. Okay. Let me end impersonation and go to the user profile. This is very tricky, guys. Sometimes you will feel that why I have opted this domain separation. Let me go here and search for the able tutor here. Let's try to move his company, or let's try to move his domain. I want to show some case here where this user should not able to get the detail. Not able to get the field called the domain here. Let me try to add again. Or I don't have another role. Let me give a try. Otherwise, we'll proceed with the next portion in the domain separation. In the domain separation, what I learned from experience, more than the implementation, consulting is required. If you do the wrong consulting, you're gone. It is here, domain. Domain path, domain name. Let me copy all these three and take it on the top. Hopefully I get some fruitful answer now. It's not showing anything domain here. Maybe I need to get a new user and then I can see. Let me go back to my user. User, admin user. Yep. So now you can see this user in the top LNG. Let's create one more user. Okay. So that we can verify that part. Okay, let's say LNG J LNG J LNG. In which company I want to put? I want to put in the, and let's not put, no, I don't want to put in the top domain. Let's create in some other domain. It should be in the Cisco domain. Reload this. Because if you put the wrong domain here, able to see every data, which I don't want to be, do it here. Let me create this account again. Jim LNG, I'll create it again. Now it's a Cisco one. Jim LNG, JLNG. I'm putting the separate domain called the small save. Oops, what happened? Go in the user admin Jim. My Gmail account is not get created. Did we did something wrong? One. Let me put some other company name. Cisco is there. Okay, let's put Cisco now. Click on the save. Yes, maybe the company name was wrong, so it did not get created. Because you're putting the company as a separate, domain as a separate, which has no relationship. And now I'll give access to the Gym as a ITIL role here. And now what I want to verify, if I impersonate as Jim, will Jim able to see the incident created by Shyam? That is number 89. My experience says it should not be able to see now, but let's see. See, Jim is not able to see the number 89, ending with number 89, right? Let want to be search. See, because Jim belong to the Cisco and Shyam belong to the LNG domain. So this is the first question which we have put up, that how the data segregation can be work on the logical level. This is the answer for the same. Clear everybody till this point? Any doubt, any question? Good. Now the second point, Jim and Shyam become friends and they want to be share the data. Now I can do this part on the user level as well, and I can do this part on the domain level as well. So what I will do, I'll go here and open the domain. Let me just refresh this domain. Reload this page, sorry. Okay. See, not able to load because it is not there. It is in the top domain. Now I'm able to see the data as well, right? So now if there's a two things, contains domain, contained by. I want the users of LNG able to see the data of Cisco. Then I can click here and add Cisco. Not able to see, don't worry. There is a one technique, right click and toggle the domain set scope. It is something which expand the domain logic in the background. I'm not sure that what is exactly work, but this is the thought or this is the process we use generally. If you're not able to see the domain, do the toggle the domains one. And now you can see the Cisco. Go and add. It means now this domain contains this as well. And click on the save. Let's go here and see the domain map. Is anything changes there? Internally, there's a no change. Now let's try to log in as a gym here. Will it able to see? No. Let's create an incident from the gym's profile. It's number 90, right? And save. And now I will log in as a Sham. Okay, I need to be end impersonation. Why I'm not able to find out the user Sham here? Anybody idea? Anyone has any idea that why not able to find out the Sham here?
Because you didn't end your impersonation?
No. Because
Because you're in a
Sham
different.
is in the LNG domain and Jim is in the other domain, and Sham domain contains the Jim domain. It's not vice versa. It's not vice versa. So what we done here in the domain, we say contains domain. LNG contains the Cisco, not the Cisco contains the LNG. So now I have to be end impersonation. And let's log in with the impersonate with the Sham. Don't feel sleepy now. Sham LNG impersonate user. And now go to incident. Open. See, Sham is able to see the incident created by Jim. Why? Because Sham belongs to the company called Learn and Grow. That is the domain called LNG, which contains the domain of the Cisco here. Clear the second point. By this way, you can do the shared resourcing. Now, if I go here in the domain, or maybe let's say in the user. Okay, why Sham is not able to see the user admin here? Tell me why Sham is not able to see the user admin here. Tell me guys, quick. Why Sham is not able to see the user admin here? Moji. Tell me,
Because
Harsh.
it's in a different domain where it doesn't belong.
No.
Oh.
It's not domain issue here. Yes, Harsh. Why Sham is not able to see the user admin module here?
Is it part of the? Is it in this area or domain? Is
He
it part of the
doesn't have a
admin?
user. He doesn't have an admin.
Does he have the admin here?
Yes. Not admin. No, 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 no. Your answer is, your words are correct, Jimmy, but answer is not correct because Sham don't have a admin role or the ITIL admin role or the user admin role. It's not due to domain, no. Remember, the visibility of the application or the module here doesn't depend on the domain. It depends on your role you have in the system. If I give Sham as a user admin, then he can see the user module here. Clear? Now let me end impersonation. And now let's come here and check the user profile of Sham. Here. Okay. Group skills. Do we have any option called here? Toggle domain space. It's done. Okay, now let's do one more thing. Let me come here and configure related list. Let's say, do we have any related list on the domain level? How I can create a new related list? Anybody has any idea? How I can create a new related list? Let's see if I have anything on the domain separation here. Data power domain. Still on the D here. Let me pick up something on the domain. Tell me how I can get a new related list. I'm just checking, do I have anything related list with the domain? I'm not sure 100%, but I want to be verified. Yes, Harsh, tell me how I can get a new related list. Domino, no, nothing called the domain here. Okay, it is on the that level only. No problem. Tell me guys, how I can create a new related list. I want to be add one more related list here. How I can do?
Edit.
What edit?
Where we have
Can you
edit
go back and right click? Configure, yeah.
Okay. Let it be load, then let me know, please.
Is it loaded? Okay, there you go.
Now
Now
tell me.
find what you want and then add it to the right.
Okay, by this new you can do, right? But it's a view, not the related list. I'm talking about
Is
how
there
I
any
can.
option named record?
Sorry,
Uh, shall we create a new record?
I don't know. I don't know. This is a homework for everybody.
Click on the default view.
It's a view, Jimmy. It's
Oh,
not a related list. It's a
oh,
view.
that's a view.
View is nothing. View is here.
Oh, okay.
Let me show you. View is here. I'm talking about the related list. Go and put some some thoughts and create one more related list on that part. Okay, now let's create a group as well. I want to just put one more thing here and then we can close this part, or maybe I can say I'm creating a group in the LNG domain because it's a specific group. I don't want to put in the global one. Okay, let's see. LNG group. Let's save this because yes, assignment group members. Yep, that one. I guess they have changed the concept of the domain separation and the bringing the domain visibility only on the domain level. That's fine for us. So now let me come back here. So we done this part. Okay. So from the interview perspective, from the understanding perspective, you should know that what is the top domain, what is the global domain. Top, which contain the high level processes, no data. Global, you can put the data which can be used, but it's not recommended. You should not put any data in the global domain. And then we have a specific domains here, which you want, you can do. So like this, you can see here, global, top and child like this. Read this page, read this reference. Let me give you the link guys here. It's very beautifully articulated, very simple and normal English. I'm using this link from the last, I guess, more than 4 batches now, 3 to 4 batches now, at least. So it tell you that everything, that how you can see, where you can see. Now, if you want to go for the domain assignment, like this company, you can put. We already discussed everything like here. This is what we have done now. We get 2 users, Jim and Sham, and we see that how they're the differentiating each other. Now, if I go here and go to domain and click on the domains here and open the LNG and contained by, let me do the toggle space again. But it's already toggled. Wait. Contained by Cisco, then sorry. Let's see. Then both users will be able to see the everybody's data. This is what the contains domain and contained by. You can create the security groups to make sure that nobody able to access any other domain. Okay, a lot of things has been changed. It's more than 2 years for me now, 2.5 years I worked in the domain separation, and we onboarded more than 100 customers in a single domain. So you can believe that how much hectic it is this part. So read this part and you will and do the exercise by these things. You will actually able to understand this part. Don't worry about this code and all the things. Leave it. Okay, let me go here. User interface domain scope. So like this. So we have a record scope as well. And see, they're also saying the toggle domain here to use. Sometimes domains are not visible because domains are on the logical level we're getting, not on the physical level. So ServiceNow have a functionality, if you're not using it, will shrink that particular space. And if you put the toggle, it will increase the space for you. So like if a user is a part of ACM domain, but it's working on the record called ACM APG, it means he have access for this particular domain as well because he's the part of this. So he's a parent and he's the child here. So you can put the business value. You can create the different business logics for the different domains. But remember, the variation only should be 5%, not more than that. It is very tough to manage the customers in the live environment. I'm telling you guys, it's very tough to manage the customer in the live environment, because initially they say yes, I'm okay, but then when they are onboarded in the system, they are become demanding. And I had experience where we onboarded one customer in the UAT. UAT was going well. Suddenly they say no, it's not working for us, and we want to go for the single domain, sorry, single instance. So our complete work of the last 4 months has been wasted, because they say no, our data is not correctly visible, we are not able to get the reports completed, all the things. They want to go on the single domain, single instance, and we have to remove them from this part. You can remove the domain, but you cannot remove the domain, or what I can say, plugin. You cannot. You cannot do that part. So be careful before you activate this thing. Clear, everybody? Good. Let me just point this thing. So domain visibility, which we discussed just now, contains and visible domain. It contains and it visible. This one. Like this. Visibility I'm giving on the user level as well. This is what I was trying to see, but I'm not able to see that part. I need to see that why it's not working. What I'm trying that instead of giving the contained by, I want to give Sham LNG as a user the visibility to the Cisco only, but I'm not getting any option in the user profile. Not sure why. So maybe once you are doing this part, you can check this thing. So visibility domain is a user to domain or group to domain. I'm not giving 100% or every user to this visibility to this domain. So let's say Jimmy and Sham are friend now. Sham says my 10 resources will work for the Jimmy's company now. But in the Sham company, we have 1,000 users. If I give a domain, contained domain on the 1,000 user level, it get a problem for me. So it means I have to give a visibility only at the user level. This is what I was trying, but I'm not able to get it actually. Not sure why. So in the domain, in the user level, you can find this part. Let's try again at the last part. Something here I was trying actually, but I'm not getting any option for toggle domain actually here. So that is I'm not able to see the visibility part here. Otherwise you will get a visibility here. So you can provide the domain visibility to the users instead of giving the complete flexibility or complete domain part there. Okay. So you can do some exercise with the help of these particular things. Try this thing. It's very good. I learned this domain separation via this particular part only. Okay, any other doubt, guys? Any question? Any clarification? Good then. So let me go, Sham.
Basically, we can define a domain as a multiple customers working on single instance.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Yes. Correct. Okay.
So too.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Can you give me like a scenario where that will make one user to be in two domains.
No. You can create a user in a single domain and give the visibility to the other domain.
Or other domain. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Because remember, in the user table, the user ID should be the unique. So you cannot create the two user ID with the same, sorry, with the two user with the same user ID. Right? So that is the thing.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. That is the reason we have a concept called the visibility domain. So if Shyam and Jimmy and Harsh and Satya are staying in a one flat, and after 2 days, 3 days, they become a friends now. They say, okay, you can come to my room at any point of time. No problem. I'm giving a visibility, but visibility only to the Jimmy, Satya and Harsh, not to the Harsh friends or the Jimmy's friend or the Satya's friend. Only you three are allowed to come in my room at any point of time. This is a visibility concept here. Okay. And landlord has a full visibility because he's in the global domain. Okay. Let me stop the recording here, guys.